there's a new sound to Valiant. The sound of a great new Valiant V8 engine.
You bet there's a new sound, and it's music to the customers who really want to move out.
Well, that new V8 wasn't designed to turn the Valiant into a hot rod, but rather to give typical Chrysler Corporation V8 performance, the kind they'd expect from that standard V8 Plymouth you're leaning on.
Sure. So that must mean Valiant V8 customers get more performance than they could get from a full-size Ford or Chevrolet with their standard V8 engine.
Very true. But we also wanted this new engine to be as rugged and reliable as that standard Plymouth V8. In other words, a proven design that's easily able to live up to its 550 warranty. In addition, we wanted to give it modern design features, typical of the big Plymouth Commando V8 engines.
That makes a lot of sense.
Besides those first 3 points, this new engine had to have light weight, so it wouldn't detract from those outstanding handling qualities that Valiant is famous for.
I suppose the weight angle is why they didn't just take this standard Plymouth V8 engine as is and drop it in the Valiant.
That's part of the reason. But also, the standard Plymouth V8 has more displacement and horsepower than is really desirable for an economy compact power plant. So we took that basic Plymouth V8 block and cast it with lighter and smaller cylinder bores, reducing displacement to 273.5 cubic inches. We got 180 horsepower from it, just right for a compact. But we kept the rugged Plymouth V8 lower end as is. Same big forged crank and rods, same large diameter main and rod journals.
Wow, what a backbone. That should make the Valiant V8 just about the strongest compact V8 on the market.
You know it, and we've got that 550 warranty to back it up. Now, from the Commando V8s, we borrowed their modern cylinder head design. These heads don't weigh as much as the standard V8 heads for one thing. But even more important is that these modern wedge-shaped heads permit larger diameter valves that get more fuel mixture into the combustion chambers, get more exhaust out.
In other words, better engine breathing.
Exactly. And you know, engine breathing is especially important at higher engine speeds. This means that the Valiant gives full power in passing situations. In case some of your hot rod customers ask, you might tell them that the Valiant intake valves are larger than those in Falcon or Chevy 2. They're 1.78 inches in diameter, to be exact. In addition, our V8 wedge-shaped heads let us raise compression ratio to 8.8 to 1 on regular gas. And a high compression ratio on regular gas means you can stretch those gas dollars. Now, we also picked the Commando V8 cooling system. It's a series cooling system that circulates water around the cylinder walls before it goes up to cool the cylinder heads and valves.
Why not just cool both at the same time?
Well, with series cooling, we permit the heads and valves to operate at somewhat higher temperatures. You get more efficiency that way. And higher temperatures reduce carbon buildup here in the combustion chamber.
Well, I've driven the Valiant V8 enough to know that it's a smooth-running power plant and that it gives good gas mileage. But performance is still the big thing as far as V8 prospects are concerned. So how does it stack up against the Falcon and Chevy 2 in acceleration?
I just happen to have those figures. Now, as you know, the 2 most important acceleration characteristics from the average owner's standpoint are, first, how quickly and safely the car can match highway traffic speeds, indicated by the time it takes to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles an hour. And second, how quickly and safely the car can pass and get back into the right-hand lane, indicated by its acceleration from 40 to 60. We lined up a Valiant Signet 200, a Falcon Sprint, and a Chevy 2 Nova, all equipped with standard V8 power plants and automatic transmissions, all tuned to factory specifications. In the 0 to 60 acceleration test, Valiant led all the way. Valiant's average time for 6 runs was 10.2 seconds. Falcon's time was 11.1, and Chevy 2's 12 seconds flat. In the 40 to 60 passing test, Valiant again was quickest, with a time of 5.1 seconds. Falcon did it in 5.4 seconds, and Chevy 2 in 5.7. Incidentally, that Valiant has the 2.93 economy axle ratio. The other two have performance axles, Falcon 3.25 and Chevy 2 3.08. Valiant's performance axle ratio is 3.23. Now, you'd expect Valiant's 180 horsepower V8 to beat Falcon's 164. But you might wonder about that Chevy 2 with 195, 15 more horses than Valiant. Here's the answer. The Valiant V8 has the advantage of torque flights, 3 speeds, and a wider range of gear ratios. Chevy 2 has a 2-speed automatic, and so does Falcon.
Oh, I should have guessed. But you know, a lot of our customers are going to be giving their Valiant V8s a real workout. That's just human nature. Sure, I know the engine itself has got more than enough guts to take anything, but how's the rest of the Valiant going to stand up to that extra power?
Well, a Valiant with a 6 is pretty strong already, but the extra horsepower and torque of the V8 requires strengthening all along the backbone, and we have it. For example, the standard transmission used with the Valiant V8 is the same rugged 3-speed manual transmission used with the Plymouth V8, and there's a larger manual clutch to go along with it. A special torque flight for the Valiant V8 features heavier clutches and reverse band and a heavier output shaft. There's a stronger drive shaft and stronger rear axle, all changes made to take the action V8 power. Now, to handle the slightly higher weight of the V8, the suspension has heavier torsion bars in front, an extra leaf in each rear spring, special Oriflow shock absorbers at each wheel, and larger 700 by 13 tires on each wheel.
Well, I can see you didn't just drop a new engine into the Valiant. You've practically rebuilt the car.
Oh, we're not quite done yet. There's also a larger radiator, 6-bladed fan, and a 35-ampere alternator instead of 30 amps.
I'll say it again. You get a lot more than just the engine when you buy a Valiant V8.
And a lot more to sell. Just review these Valiant V8 chassis modifications. Special V8 transmissions, stronger drive shaft and rear axle, heavier suspension, bigger tires, larger radiator, and a higher capacity 35-ampere alternator.
I'll make it a point to mention those items, but it's what's under here that's going to draw most of my attention.
Naturally, so just remember your 4 big engine selling points. Item 1, lightweight design.
Sure, that preserves the fine handling qualities that have helped make Valiant famous.
Item 2, it's a new engine, but already a proven design.
That's because it incorporates the best features of 2 great engines, this standard Plymouth V8 and the Plymouth Commando V8. By using the standard Plymouth V8 basic block, crankshaft rods, and so forth, it gives owners a generous reserve of strength and durability.
More than any other compact V8 can promise, especially when it's backed up by the 550 warranty. And by using the basic Commando V8 head and series cooling system design, it assures top combustion efficiency.
The kind that pays off in more miles per gallon of regular fuel.
That means that a Valiant V8 is no compromise compact. It delivers both the performance a V8 customer wants and the economy a compact customer demands.
Okay, so you've proven that our Valiant V8 really does combine the best of 2 great engines, and that this engine itself is only part of the extra value you get in a Valiant V8. But there's one test you didn't cover.
You mean?
That's right. The seat-of-the-pants test you give a prospect behind the wheel of a Valiant V8 in a demonstration. Man, you just can't afford not to demonstrate this car